Hello Motor Rider World fans, and welcome to a very special feature that we've got here for you. I'm at Bike Tire Warehouse out in Midrand, and I'm with a man who's come all the way from the US of A to come and grace us with his presence. And Bruce from Bike Tire Warehouse got hold of me and said this very special guy's coming in. He's this adventure guru known as the Motorcycle Whisperer. I hear we'll ask him just now. His name is Bret Tkacs, all the way from America, adventure rider, trainer, everything you could want with motorcycle riding. Check out his YouTube channel and you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Now, for this chat, get nice and comfy, get a pen and paper, because you are going to get valuable information from this with regards to tire, riding, everything you could possibly want. But first, before we get there, Bret, welcome to South Africa.
Well, it's good to be back.
And
it's absolutely good to be
that's
back.
What I was asking. I thought, is this your first time in South Africa? But it's actually not. You rode from Spain,
yes,
through to Africa. Tell us about that.
So back in 2016, 2017, I'd already ridden North America, South America. I've ridden in India, and I hadn't ridden Africa. So why not? I mean, this is the place to have an adventure, you know what I mean? So I flew into Spain. I bought an XT600 with a friend of mine and my mentor for travel, the guy that I look at. And we rode the West Coast. We came all the way down through Nigeria and Congo and Namibia. And then, of course, once we got down to the bottom, I skipped Cape Town. And we took a left and we went over to Lesotho. And at the time, it was Swaziland still.
Yep.
And up into Zimbabwe and went diving. And we took a helicopter over the Victoria Falls. And we went skydiving in Namibia. And it was just a fantastic time. But what an adventure.
Very brave man. I wouldn't do half those things. Never mind just riding the bike through Africa. I wouldn't do the skydiving and helicopter and all that. But Bret, just quickly tell us, I mean, what are you all about? I've watched your YouTube channel. You're about, and I asked you this before we actually came on air, you're about educating people on safety, but it's actually not.
Yeah, so I got into motorcycle education. I've been into this now for 26 years that I'm a professional trainer. This is what I do for a living. I train instructors, I train the US military, I train civilians. And what most people don't know is that I'm primarily a street rider. Everybody knows me for adventure riding because of the YouTube channels, the things I've done in the past, the things I do now, because of the adventures, because of social media. But in reality, it's actually a very small part of what I do. It turns out I spent a lot of time studying rider psychology, understanding the human mind, because that's how I train people. I study a lot about physics and how the motorcycles work and dynamics, and I surround myself with people who are a lot smarter than me, because that's how you become a really good rider.
It's not what you know, it's who you know.
Yeah, well, and if you were stuck in our own mindset, we just go one direction, and if we don't question things, and that's what we're going to do today. I'm going to have you questioning some of the things you've heard and some of the things you do. And that's what I'm all about. I'm about education, and I got into this industry thinking safety, and now I've realized, to heck with safety. I don't really actually care about that because it's a myth. Because if I make you a better rider, you're going to take more risks.
Definitely.
Because we want to have more fun, and that's what I'm about now. I want to make people better riders. I want to make them have a lot more fun. I want them to smile more. Basically, I'm not worried about how long you live. I just want to make the time that you live the best that you can have while you're here.
And I think that's an important part. Like you said, we're so focused so many times on safety that when you ride your bike, you're actually not riding your bike. You're not taking in what's around you. You're just going, okay, I must do this, I must do this. And I know that from a street racing background and road riding, I'm a terrible road rider, because I promise you, I get home to the wife, and my wife knows if I've ridden the bike all day on the road, I get home, I have a headache, because I'm concentrating, I'm watching this. And then afterwards you kind of go, well, I didn't actually enjoy the motorbike. So I think that way that you're coming from, the way you explained it to me, that learning how to manage, in a way, the risk factor of riding a motorbike properly.
Yeah, we don't want to be ignorant. We don't want to have no idea what's about to happen. The whole key here is know what those risks are so we can mitigate them, so we can manage what those are. Because if I get hurt, if I break my bike, I don't have a problem. That's just money. I can work extra, and I can put my bike back together. I can get, if I slice a tire, I can get a new tire. That's not a problem. I know a place to go. So if I need a tire, I know where to go. But what I want to do is just understand it, so that when I recognize things, I know which risk I'm taking. And as long as I don't get hurt, which is why I wear all my gear, why I wear CE2 armor, and why I have AA rated suits, and why I do all this, because I want to make sure that I can get back up and I can keep riding again. Because it's one thing to be hurt. It's another thing to be hurt and not be able to ride, because
that
sucks. Right?
That does suck. So Bret, just tell us quickly, you're in South Africa now. When you come to South Africa, and like you said, if you need any kind of information or any kind of thing with regards to motorcycle tires, you come to Bret Tire Warehouse. But why are we here, and why are you here in South Africa?
I'm here. I'm putting together, one of the things I want to do, as I mentioned, I want to make people enjoy the world. I want to express and share the things that I've done, and I want to bring foreigners into South Africa to discover the tip, and go into Botswana, go into Zimbabwe, and explore South Africa. But while I'm here, it would be silly not to offer an opportunity to come out and do training with me and to help riders in South Africa enjoy their own country better, and the neighbor countries better. And that's what I'm doing this time. I'm scouting for a tour that I'm putting together for 2022. It's a training style tour for foreigners, but also I'm conducting training. In fact, I'm just in a lull right now. I've been out at ADA. I did training, and I'm doing training this weekend before I jump on a plane on Monday. And I'm hoping in 2022 to be able to pull off the same stunt. I'll bring in some foreigners, we'll do our travel, we'll do our training, and then we'll wrap it up by offering some stuff to the local riders so they can come out and play with me and learn the way I learn. Because I'm a little bit, I've been told anyways, I'm a little different. And I've also been told I train a little different. So those are two different concerns. But the doctor gives me drugs, I'm perfectly fine, right? Just kidding, right?
So we're going to get into those different things. We were talking off air, and some of those different things, we're going to get into that. Without getting into too much detail, go watch the YouTube channel. There's in-depth, detailed thing there. But what is a couple of key points that you would say to riders first time about climbing on a bike, especially adventure bike, with the different? I mean, you street, you gravel, you dirt, you hills, you all that. What are the basics that you would say that you could tell us to, okay, guys, girls, focus on this, and you will enjoy your riding experience?
I'm going to give you one major tip. I want you to have one major understanding. You're not in control.
No.
When people try to be in control of their motorcycle, when they hold on tight, when they get into the sand and they want to go that direction, but the motorcycle decides it's going to go that direction, that's when problems happen. And whether you're road racing, whether you're on the street, or whether you're in the sand or the gravel, you have to understand that these bikes are built by people way smarter than me and probably most of you. And they have rake and trail, there's gyroscopic precession, the wheels, these tires are built. I mean, there's the engineering that goes behind all these tires. It does pick a brand. Pirelli, Mezzo. I mean, the amount of engineering that goes into these is astounding. And we have to trust all of that. And when we trust the motorcycle, when we trust the tires, and when we learn how to back off and allow it to do the work, and realize we're not running the ship, we're the captain. We give suggestions and crew, and we hope there's no mutiny, right? That's the idea, right? And so that's the idea, is we don't want to be heavy-handed on the bike, and that's the hardest thing for a lot of people to understand, is that you've got to let go, you've got to understand what's happening with the bike, what are the physics, what's about to happen, so that you're not interfering with what that motorcycle needs to do.
I think that is the biggest part, is that resistance of trying to tell the motorcycle, which is actually more in control than you think it is, trying to tell it what to do when it's quite happy to do what it's actually doing. Like you said, modern day technology is ridiculous.
When I ride through sand and I take my hands off, and I'm riding through sand, and people are like, how do you do that? You have to hold on. No. That's what the bike's designed to do that. And that is, for me, when I watch riders who come and train with me, when I can get them to understand all these concepts, I teach one called the weightless rider, where I talk about this orb of energy, and we talk about canceling out thrust, because gravity is thrust, braking force, acceleration, these are all thrust factors. When we're able to control and predict those thrust factors and neutralize those thrust factors, all of a sudden we become amazing riders, confident. I'm not fast. People look at me and they go, oh, he's going to ride really fast. He must be fast. And I'll tell you, if you ever go to the racetrack with me and you go, gee, Bret, you're really fast, what that means is you're really slow. Okay, that's the reality, right? I mean, I've ridden with professional racers on the track. I know where I stand in the world. And we can all go on YouTube and social media, and we can see people take these trials riders. My God, gee, people, think about this. They're taking these Africa Twins. They're taking these 1290s and doing things that are just insane. I'm not that guy. But what I am as lazy as you can get when you ride. I let the bike do the work, I let the land do the work, and that's what this is all about.
Yep.
And my goal is to not use energy, because that allows me to ride longer, to enjoy more, to stay more relaxed, and to stay safer. Because when you're all burned up and you're exhausted, you start making mistakes.
That is the worst
and we can't have that.